It's day 2 of training. I'm gonna show you guys the view from one of the yoga rooms at the ashram. Slash my room's right next door, so this is kind of what it looks like from my room. I'm a little bit afraid of heights, so I can't look it down. Today was great. I got my ego calmed down quite a bit from yesterday, for sure. I was in sadhana this morning doing our practice, and yesterday I was kind of saying that a lot was coming up, just to a little bit of why me energy. But I'm so grateful to be on this spiritual path, wow. And in class, our teacher was telling us about Swami Vivekananda, the Swami that came to the Chicago World's Fair. And he was one of the first guys that really brought yoga to the West. And he addressed everyone saying, "Hello, my brothers and sisters." And for some reason, it was really profound to Americans and just people around the world, because his sound current was so full of love that people just immediately softened. And he took up space in a way that was very loving. And he also, he was actually an atheist, and then he found yoga, and then he started a path of abstinence. And so that was really encouraging to hear. I don't have a lot of examples that are women, but he also contributes that to being, he had visions, and he read a book. He went to this bookshop and he picked up a book, and he opened the first page, the middle page, and the third page, and then he closed it. And this guy is next to him, I think he's a philosopher of some type, and was like, have you read this book before? And he's like, "I just read it." And then he was able to recall page by page what was in the book, as if he was reading it in his mind's eye. And I've experienced some other gurus and teachers that have this ability just to tap into, what they call the akash, or the wisdom. And it was so freeing to hear that, because I think also just being a feminine, you get that word crazy thrown around for having, heightened emotions, and for me, I don't, I'm pretty chill, all the time, unless I'm doing, I'm releasing and I know it's moving through me, but I'm really afraid of that word crazy. And a lot of where I feel crazy is sort of the psychic nature, and I used to, I've had a few experiences where I've really told people things that that I just shouldn't have had access to knowing, and it freaked me out. But in the state of channeling, it's I don't even remember what I say. I just kind of start letting it out. And I don't really believe in fortune telling. The future is subjective based on the anchor of your reality. And so I would never say in this much time this is going to happen to you, but a little bit of medical mediumship. I've been able to tap into people's energetic bodies and feel physical ailments, and especially with massage, there's a lot of things where I let that guide where I work, but I don't necessarily say that the process. So it was really cool just to hear that and be witness to that lesson. And in Kriya Yoga today, we were moving through the root, and our teacher was explaining that the goddess energy, it's the queen of the mountain, and the way that the Kundalini, there's 3 rings, sort of past, present, future, or it's lying dormant, and it sits in this shape, and that's because the Kundalini energy can only rise. But when we dip down into the root, it's rubies and diamonds, but it's also snakes and scorpions, and you don't always know what you're going to find. because this is a planet that in some ways is there's suffering here. And so the liberation process is going into what's uncomfortable. So I think yesterday I really moved a lot of what was uncomfortable, and I feel really humbled because I was letting my ego spin, and I was justifying things and putting myself on a pedestal and asking masculines to be more direct and straightforward, and I don't actually feel that way. And I really value sensitivity, and I've had past partners that I felt like they were just too sensitive and it would put me in my masculine energy, but I also like being in my masculine energy. I like being direct, and I like getting things done. And so this is me asking for forgiveness. Like, everyone should express exactly how they should, and the root of suffering is sort of this attachment and attaching to the past or the present or the future. And ultimately, nobody owes you anything. My parents don't owe me anything. My relationships nobody owes me anything. And it is sort of past experience that layers, and we go into the future sort of like as if, for example, like if you've been cheated on, then you go to your next partner as if they need to prove to you that they can trust you. And so there's filters and everything that's based on past experiences. But ultimately that's keeping you in suffering. And so for me, it's like, I feel like I've been projected on a lot of times, and I used to think like I would just kind of sit and take it and be passive, and now I'm kind of valuing that a bit, because I don't think it's right to put poison back out, because if someone is angry or using words that are not kind, then that is an exact reflection that they're suffering, that they're in suffering, and they're not feeling connected to the root of all creation. And so it's okay when people don't do or respond the way that you expect them to. It's not their job. It's our job. The only thing we can ever be responsible for is our reactions to things. And so, yeah, I'm grateful for this journey, and I was feeling sort of like upset that like I've been abstinent for so long, and now I'm just realizing like I'm so grateful because through this process I'm so connected to my body, and the way that I look at people is it's like I see their soul and I want to develop with them. I love having crushes. I probably get a new crush every day because it's like beautiful fuel and gets you a little excited. But as far as like choosing partnership, it's a slow burn for me, and that's okay. And I'm so glad for this space of sort of the purification that comes with abstinence, because I don't feel any manipulative energy. I don't think anyone owes me anything, and I'm not trying to seduce people. And I think too, because of that, like there's also, I have to be very aware of my energy because it's cultivated, and I have a lot of ojas, and so, being kind and sweet and curvy or whatever, like I know that it can make people sort of get the wrong idea. And I also have to be aware that like I have a lot of sort of just like vitality because of the discipline there. And I'm grateful for it, and I know that like in the right hands that I have a lot of energy, and I know that it will be safely and highly regarded at the right time. And if it's not today, then that's fine, because all I have is now, and in the next moment all we ever have is now. And again, I just want to like almost say, like apologize to, I have mostly masculine followers on here, and like I want to welcome the sensitivity. You guys don't need to be providers and protectors all the time. Like you should be sensitive. And I have one friend so far here, and it's this guy from Australia, and we were talking today about like masculine and feminine roles, and he was telling me that like in his country, like if you're sensitive, it's like you're showing like weakness, but here in like close to LA, like you're not really in the club if you're not in the queer club. It's like, it's kind of almost opposite. It's like cool to be, open and free in that way. And so eye-opening. And yeah, like we were just talking about, like, how do men create spaces where they can work through what's repressed? Because, you know, just as I had to go down into the depths of my Muladhara chakra and feel anger and frustration and you know, feeling things aren't justified. It's like I've been doing this practice and this work, and I still have more work to do, and a lot of it's even ancestral. But most guys, like you guys, you don't have any space at all for any of that ever. So if you were to go down into, you know, the dormant energy, there's going to be a lot that would have to come up. And, you know, what's regarded as like success is being able to, you know, Trump's word, grab it by the pussy and have a lot of money, and that's not reality, and that's a state of your own suffering. Because one, money comes when you're in alignment with your soul purpose. And so if you have a lot of money, you're going to spend it on crap you don't need that's going to be unfulfilling. The yoga teachings teach you that the highest thing that you can do with money is to give back to humanity, and the second one is to spend it freely on yourself and to upgrade yourself. Like, it's okay to have the nice cars, it's okay to have the nice clothes, because we are gods and goddesses in this temple, and there's nothing wrong with adornment, right? But it's got to be used in a holy way, and not just for pleasure. And so, yeah, I guess my heart just really goes out to masculines today, because I was feeling fiery and justified yesterday. And it doesn't mean that, you know, my own sufferings haven't happened because of misguided masculine energy. That's probably my number one thing, is feeling just like unsafe, and having it was a hard choice to choose abstinence, but let's just say it was for a reason. And so I'm grateful to be making friends here. And yeah, like I'm coming to this space of just wanting to always see through compassionate eyes and loving eyes, and kind of feeling like there's no excuse for anything else. What can I say though about the rest of the classes? There's your Dharma talk. But yeah, it's like yoga school. Like, it's so cool. It's a rigorous schedule. Like, it's so intense. But we do get one day off to like go into the town, and I found like a river rafting sign, so I might try to go river rafting on the Ganges. It's also the beginning of Navaratri celebration. Like, it's the Indian New Year, and they start by celebrating the goddesses for 9 days. So we did a puja this evening, which was really special. And I love bhakti, I love singing, and I love dancing and doing it with lots of people, and so that really lifted my spirits. And but it's really divine timing to be here. Like, we got here on April Fool's Day, and we're gonna be here during the Bodhi tree celebration. We're here for the New Year, and my birthday's on Mother's Day, and so there's just so much like goddess energy and like mother energy and love, and I'm really looking forward to what's to come. And so that's day 2 of training. I can't believe there's like a month left. There's gonna be so much transformation. Like, so much has already happened internally, and even externally. I feel like I'm getting stronger. But yeah, we'll just end with maybe an Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So Om is the O, it's Om. So the letter is the process of creation to destruction. Even in that sacred sound, it's the first sound that created the universe. When there was just space, there was the Om. And so Om, we can say Om, and then Shanti 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 is peace, peace, peace. So creation, destruction, all-encompassing universe with peace here at the World Peace Ashram. So if y'all want to do a mantra with me, take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bless.